Are boxers' hands considered registered weapons?
To be fair, it is, yes. Yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but police have said that to me before. We'll cut that out. My name's Archie Sharp, 30 years old, 26 fights, 25 wins, former WBO European champion, former WBO global champion, former #1 in the world in the WBO.
European Super Featherweight Champion, Archie the Sharpshooter Sharp!
Do boxers eat before a fight?
Yes, 2 hours before.
What do you have?
I'd have something with carbs, so like some sort of chicken and rice or something.
Next one here. Do boxers lift weights?
Some boxers lift more than what I believe they should do. I personally am more of a body weight fighter, so I body weight exercises.
Next one. Do boxers take creatine?
Yes, boxers should take creatine. It's good for repair.
What does creatine do for those that don't know? What?
So creatine helps with muscle repair, and yeah, it allows you to train harder.
Now this next one. You haven't got them, but it says, do boxers get cauliflower ears? You haven't got any?
No, I haven't, and I don't know. I don't think many fighters do, to be fair, because you're not so far involved. I don't think so, no.
Because there's no like MMA, it's like grappling and stuff, like the wrestling that gets the cauliflower ears, so you haven't seen it much in boxing?
No, not much in boxing, no.
Do you get to keep your belts?
Yes, you do get to keep the belts, yeah. So what normally happens is if you win the belt, the next, you obviously win it in the ring, then you give the belt back and then they send you out a new belt.
How many have you got now?
I've got 2 belts now.
Do you keep them in like a special spot, or are they just like above the wardrobe somewhere?
Yeah, they're just upstairs on top of my dressing table.
How many more belts do you want to win?
Got another 2 coming on May 23rd.
Do boxers run every day?
Same again, some people do. I don't really run much at all, to be honest with you. I'm a bit different to other fighters. I don't really run loads.
Do you think that is there a benefit to running every day?
Yeah, I think it's more of a mental thing. Boxers run. They feel like if they don't run, they're not trained properly. But sprints and that, I'd say is good. But all these long distance runs, it's not really needed.
This is another one that people are asking. This one's a bit stranger, to be honest. It says, do boxers get dementia?
Do boxers get dementia? Well, after a few years later, I'm not really too sure myself, but I do know that there are a lot of fighters that have had brain problems later on in life. Yeah.
Is that something that sort of concerns you? Are you worried about that at all? Or
no, because I try and hit and not get hit. But yeah, there's a lot of boxers actually that have had problems with the brain.
Just sort of comes with the territory, doesn't it?
Comes with it, yeah. Getting hit in the head.
Do boxers wear contacts, like contact lenses?
I would have thought some might have to if they need glasses and they can't see. Then I'm sure that I do know fighters that I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know.
Have you ever punched anyone's contacts out in sparring?
No, never had a punch. No, to be fair, that's a question I don't even know myself.
Have you ever seen anyone struggling to see? It's sparring, you know what I mean, when someone takes the glasses off.
I've seen people have glasses, obviously, and then they take the glasses off unless they're using contacts when they're sparring. So there are fighters that I know wear glasses and then box. But it could be. I would have thought you need to have decent eye, because you have to do an eye exam every year for your medical. So.
Yeah. You have decent eyesight.
I've got decent eyes anyway, 10 vision.
This one's are boxers. So it's, are boxers allowed to have beards?
Yeah. Strange question, but yeah.
Do you think if you had a huge beard, like a proper, like a big, thick one, like a wizard's beard, do you think they'd let you have that? Is there any regulations with that?
No regulations, no, yeah. You can have what you want.
So you just
same with long hair, you can have long hair as long as it doesn't get in anyone's way.
Do you think it's a benefit? Do you think people try and hit you on the chin and miss?
Well, it just like softens the punch a bit, yeah.
Are boxers' hands considered registered weapons?
It's an interesting one because people have said that to me before. So basically, if I get caught fighting in the street and I've got a pro license and I got arrested, then they would class them as legal weapons.
Because you're qualified to.
Because you're qualified to
hurt people essentially.
Yeah, you know how to punch them. So like they say, the average person punches whatever, but a boxer who can throw proper can do 3 times their body weight. So you've got someone like AJ who's 200 odd pound punching, it's like 600 pound hitting you in the face.
So the answer is kind of yes, not really, but sort of
yes.
Yeah.
Well, it is. To be fair, it is yes. Yeah, I won't go into too much detail, but police have said that to me before.
We'll cut that there. We'll cut that there.
We'll cut it out.
Are boxers born or made?
I think you're born. You are born, but then there are fighters out there that you're born with ability. Ability can only get you so far. Like some fighters are born with ability and only gets them so far. Where some fighters didn't have the ability but train hard, dedicated their lives, and have become great fighters.
Do you think you're a combination of both?
I believe I was born with ability because there's things that people can't really teach to what I do. But yeah, to take it to the next level was the dedication and hard work.
Next one's can boxers. Can boxers bet on themselves?
No, I don't think they can. Don't think they can. Especially, I think there's a bit of a not a new rule, but it's more spoken about. Because I heard the promoters, Eddie Earn, saying they can't put bets down now either. So I know that fighters can't bet on themselves, which I think is very unusual because you're not betting yourself to lose. You're betting on yourself to win. So unless that's what it is, you can't bet on yourself to lose.
Yeah, and then take the fall.
I didn't think of it like that, but yeah, that's probably what it is.
Because I mean, you're already betting on yourself to win by just getting in, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, because if I bet on myself, I'm only betting myself to win. Do you know what I mean? I'm not betting myself to lose.
I guess it would be, because you could bet rounds and bet stuff, and then
take a dive or
I get knocked down in the first. You just take a knee and then
that's true. Yeah, so boxers, they can't bet on themselves.
Can boxers drink alcohol?
I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, I suppose there's many fighters out there that drink alcohol. So I wouldn't recommend it if you're looking at longevity. Some great fighters that have drunk alcohol and become world champions, but the elite are the elite that go on for longevity. They don't.
Can boxers draw a round?
Yeah, 10-10 round. Yeah, it can be a 10-10 round.
Have you had many of those?
I think you've had it. Depends on what the judges are looking for. If it's a close round and they can't give it either way, then I don't think judges like to use 10-10 round. I don't think I like to judge it 10-10, but if it's that close of a round and there's not much happening, then yeah, it's easily done.
Again, we've already covered this one. Can boxers have long hair?
Yeah, boxers can have long hair as long as it doesn't affect anyone's sight.
Paddy Pimblett used to say, the Scouse UFC fighter, he used to say the judges scored more harshly on him because he had long hair and the impact of the punch looked like it was hitting him harder. Do you reckon it's something that could happen, influence the judges if your hair is flying about?
Well, I don't know what judges look at these days. With a lot of fights to go on, but yeah, I suppose you can do. If a shot hasn't really landed and you're moving your head back and your head's flicking up and down, I thought, that's a shot, we'll score that. So it makes sense.
Can boxers smoke weed?
Same again, I wouldn't recommend it, but there are fighters out there that have done it and do it. I know it's banned in competition, but out of competition it's not banned. What's
the testing like? Do you get tested sort of a week before, a month before?
It's random testing. Obviously, for certain titles, you get there'll probably be more of a schedule, but a lot of things are randomly tested. They just turn up at your door at any time. But like I say, I know with weed on the UCAD that it's not allowed in fight camp. But if you're out of camp, then apparently there's no thing. Obviously, then you get to another political stage with obviously the health benefits to an extent with certain stuff, but I think all nowadays the weed is all sprayed in chemicals anyway, so
yeah, it's not natural.
So it's not natural weed anymore. So finally,
then, this is the last question we've got from Google: can boxers hear commentators?
Sometimes, sometimes, because obviously they're right there ringside. There's been times where I've heard commentators.
Has it been sort of positive, negative, or does it just not affect you either way? Are you just not fussed?
No, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't matter either way. But it's like the crowd. You hear little bits of the crowd, but not loads because you're kind of tunnel vision and what you got. But yeah, you do hear things like the corners. You hear your corner men, their corners, and then sometimes commentary.
How when you do you watch the fights back ever and then like hear the commentary and just be like, what the fuck were you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Often.
I wouldn't say so much often, but definitely there's been one or two, and I thought, so and so landed a good shot, and I'm like, well, where was the shot?
Right, so that's been the most Googled questions about boxers. Archie, what did you reckon about the people's questions?
They're not as bad as I thought it was going to be. They're not as bad as I thought. The running one was a good one.
Yeah.
Because people think, especially like with a lot of old time fighters, that running was a big part of their training, and it was. But sometimes you have to adapt. Like for myself, I can't really run too much now because of my knees. I used to run so much as a kid, all the time. But it was unnecessary runs. I look back, I'm fighting for like 3-minute rounds and I'm running for an hour and a half, like, there's no point. So yeah, just got to be more strategic of how you train.
Next time we could probably try and do a bit of a Q&A from the comments. So if anyone who's watching has got any comments, got any questions for Archie about boxing, about his career, leave them in the comments. We'll read them next time and then do another video. But cheers, Archie. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much.